It's a story everyone else seems to have forgotten about, but Newsy has been following since last year. Months before a majority of the country would vote by mail because of the pandemic, dozens of blue USPS collection boxes just disappeared from communities without notice. Ultimately, the Postal Service put the practice on hold until after the election and said kind of nothing to see here. But our Maritza Giorgio, who broke the story in Montana, wanted to know why they were removed. She stumbled upon some serious gaps and joins us live tonight from Missoula, Montana. Maritza, what'd you find?
Good evening to you, Chance. It comes down to something known as a density test. Basically, it's a fancy way of saying they count the mail that goes through each box. And if a certain box doesn't receive enough mail, they might remove it or relocate it. But going through this USPS data, we found a whole lot of removed boxes across the country that didn't receive those tests.
Tara WANTULOK started working at this Bozeman, Montana market in the 1990s. Her husband's grandpa opened it in 1969. And as long as she's known this place, a blue USPS collection box stood out front.
Just one day, I went out to go use it and it was gone. So it just disappeared and had no clue that it was being taken away.
It's the same story in front of a mail facility at Montana State University. You can still see remnants of protest signs put up when it was removed.
It was just on that corner right there.
And across town at the Gallatin County Administrative Building.
I mean, why would it be taken? You know, why all of a sudden is it just gone?
It houses the treasurer, motor vehicles, elections.
It was being used.
These boxes vanished months before a majority of the state would vote by mail in the 2020 election.
It's secure, and that's, you know, why it makes a good place to deposit your ballots.
A postal carrier in Bozeman reached out to us saying these boxes should be put back.
We depend upon the Postal Service.
Montana U.S. Senator John Tester first sounded the alarm on post office box removals.
And I think the big thing is all people want is they want dependable mail service. That's it. And make it as user-friendly as you possibly can.
So he fired off a letter to Postmaster General Louis DeJoy last month requesting the boxes be put back and questioning the timing of how they decided on removals in a college town. The USPS says it's all routine. They use density tests to measure how much mail goes through a box, basically a fancy way of saying they count the mail. The policy says if a box receives fewer than 25 pieces of mail a day, it should be reviewed for removal or relocation. But there are some exceptions to that, like if it's next to municipal and judicial buildings and other public facilities. Think a college campus or a county building. This Freedom of Information Act request asked for the density test information that determined which boxes got stamped for removal in 2020. The spreadsheet delivered new questions.
This is where one of those blue collection boxes once stood. Now, we don't know exactly how much mail went through this box because USPS data shows no density test was done on it, but you can see this is a bustling corner next to a university.
The Bozeman boxes in Senator Tester's letter are 4 out of more than 1,300 removed nationwide last year, with 46 Montana boxes on the list. Out of those 46, only 2 show density tests done.
It wasn't until you had asked for the issues that revolve around density that we were able to get that density information. They weren't going to give it. When we told them it was FOIA'd, through the Freedom of Information Act, then they presented it.
Newsy found the same trend in other pockets of the country. Take Minnesota. Not one of the 33 boxes taken in 2020 had undergone full density tests the 2 years prior. We found the same thing for all 20 boxes the USPS removed in South Dakota. We discovered major gaps in New York, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. And nearly all Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Austin, Texas boxes are missing numbers. And this is just a snapshot.
Why would you eliminate that extra service without testing at all to see whether or not it should go, and then just to have it disappeared?
Laced throughout the document, lines that look like this with zeros across all 4 density test dates. And every single one we looked up is a collection box in front of a post office. So Newsy went back to the USPS asking why. Their response hasn't changed in more than a year and doesn't answer specific questions about this data. When pushed on what we found, a spokesperson said, quote, "Unfortunately, I've already given you all the information I'm able to provide." Also, the density test policy says if a box will be removed, a notice needs to go up 30 days before letting customers know. That didn't happen here.
Well, I do have a postal carrier that comes in daily, and I remember when it first happened, I asked them, I said, what happened? She said, I had no clue it was even gone.
I've been suspicious from the beginning that there was a different agenda behind the removal of these boxes. I have received no information that reduces my suspicion. And I think that in the end, those boxes need to be put back in place.
But I think that you've really hit on something that goes to a broader national issue here. And that is that first-class mail service is continuing to slow down.
And for people like Tara and Jennifer who rely on that mail?
I think it's a service to the public.
100%. It would be very, very nice, and it would be great to have it back.
I think it's appropriate for it to be outside of a public building where people frequent.
They just want to see their blue boxes back so they can get back to delivering in their own jobs.
As we mentioned, we asked for more comment from the USPS on this, as did Senator John Tester. His office says they have not yet received a response to that letter they wrote, but of course, we'll keep tracking this.